1.5 meter hook, and I'm going to start with the purple, and I'm going to chain 20. So do your slip knot and chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 18, 19 and 20. And again, we're going to be working in uneven rows, so uneven stitches. So the first row is going to be 19 single crochets. So you skip the first stitch nearest the hook, the first chain, and you go straight into the second one and you do a single crochet. And you do a single crochet in every stitch across, and you should have 19. And just to let you know, I am using American terms. So coming near the end of the first row, just a normal row of single crochet and 19. And at the end of every row, I chain 1 and turn my work. Now the second row is going to be a decrease row. Okay, so what I do is I insert my hook into the first stitch, pull my thread through, insert it into the next stitch, pull my thread through, and then pull through all 3 loops on my hook. And I do that in the first 2 stitches. I then do 1 single crochet in the 15 middle stitches until you have 2 stitches left at the end. And if you do want to know how to do any of these stitches, I do have a tutorial on how to do the stitches and all the terms. And so row 2, you're decreasing the first 2 stitches together, doing a single crochet in the 15 stitches in the middle, 2. So come to my last 2 stitches, and how I'm decreasing in this project, like I did at the beginning of this row, insert my hook into the stitch, pull the wool through, and insert it into the next stitch and pull the wool through, and then just pull the wool through all 3 loops. Now I'm going to change colours. So instead of chaining 1 at the end of the row with the purple, I'm going to pull my wool through like this, and I'm going to chain my wool with my pink. 1 chain. And I'm going to turn my project. Now I'm not going to cut the wool throughout this project. I'm just going to leave the wool at the sides. So this row is not a decrease row. So you should have 17 stitches in this row. So 1, just tighten that a bit, 17 single crochets across in the pink. And I'm coming to the end of my third row, single crochet, chain 1, turn your work, and now this is a decrease row. So every second row is a decrease row. So again, insert your hook into your first stitch, pull your wool through, insert it into your second stitch, pull your wool through, and pull your wool through all 3 stitches. And then you are going to single crochet across to the last 2 stitches in the row, where you will decrease. On to my third last stitch. So I now have 2 stitches left, and I'm going to decrease. Now there are different ways of decreasing, but in this project this is how I'm decreasing. Insert your hook into the stitch, pull your wool up, insert it into the next stitch, which might be a bit tight, pull it up and pull through all 3 stitches. And now I'm going to change to my third colour, which is white, which I hope is easy to see against the white background. So again, instead of chaining 1 in the pink, I'm going to connect the white wool without cutting the pink wool, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn the work. I'm going to single crochet across, and at this stage you should have 15 single crochet. So that's 3, 4, 5, 13, 14 and 15 stitches. Chain 1, turn your work. Again, as I said, every second row is going to be a decrease row. So I'm going to decrease in this row. So insert your hook into the stitch, insert your hook into the second stitch, pull wool through all three, and single crochet across to the end. And then I'm going to show you how to bring your purple wool up to do the next row of purple. Okay, I'm coming to the end and I've 2 stitches left at the end of this row, and I'm just going to crochet them together like that. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this wool up from the bottom without cutting it. So if you just bring it up and do quite a loose slip stitch and then chain 1, and keep that quite loose, because if you tighten it your work will gather up like this. Okay, and again you're just going to do 1 single crochet across. And we're now on to the white, which is going to be the last decrease. So pull that up and just don't pull thread very tight. Come to the last 3 on the white, and I'm just going to do a single crochet across the top 3. So in order to keep this sort of even, what I do for the decrease row at the very end is I chain the 1 at the end of the row. I insert my hook into the first stitch, pull my wool through, insert it into the second stitch, pull my wool through, and pull my wool through all 3 loops. And what I do here is I insert my hook back into the middle stitch, so the same stitch as the last stitch, you know, the middle stitch. Insert your hook in and insert it into the last stitch on the row. Pull your wool through and you'll have 3 loops. And pull your wool through like that. And that will be your triangle. And even though this isn't exactly pointy, when you do your edging, you can make it pointy. So what I do here is I chain 1, turn my work, and now I'm going to do a single crochet the whole way around. So 1 single in that one and 1 single in that one. And because this is a corner, I'm going to actually do 2 singles in the corner one. And when you get to the top of one side, in the corner, you're actually going to put 3 single crochets. And what that does is it makes your corner really nice and neat. So I will show you that when I get to the top. And 2. And I've come to the very corner. So into this stitch here, it's actually where you chained your very first. I'm going to put 3 single crochets. 1 and 2 and 3, and then pull this. And I'm going to crochet, I'm going to crochet this string of purple wool into my project. So across the top where you did your 19 chain at the very beginning, you put 1 single crochet into each one along the top. And just coming to the edge of the top of this side of the triangle of the bunting, come to the corner, and into the corner I'm going to do 3 single crochets, and it just makes your corners really neat. It just kind of brings you naturally around the corner. And now this is going to be sort of the messy row. So what you're going to do is you're just going to single crochet across all this wool down the side. You can actually cut these off. So it should be 1 single crochet into each row. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. I'm just coming to the very end of the third side of your triangular bunting piece, and still crocheting along the end like this into the last ones. And what you do is you just slip stitch to the corner like that, and it will look like that. I have it upside down. Now I'm going to change colours here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, cut my thread, pull that through and pull it tight. So I'm just going to start in this corner on this edge, and what you do is pull your wool through, and just to sort of anchor it on, I chain 1 like that, and back into the same stitch I'm going to do 1 single crochet. and I'm going to single crochet the whole way around the project, and at the corners I'm going to do 3 single crochets just to make them really nice and even. Of course, if you wanted to just do a half double crochet around the project instead of doing 2 different rows of colours, you could do that as well. I just like the idea of the extra colours. And I'm just coming near the bottom of the project. Because this is a triangle, I'm not going to do, I'm not going to worry too much about doing 2 double crochets in the corner of the pointy bit, because you're going to be making that pointy with your edging. And I'm just going to crochet that little piece of thread, the white, into my project. And again, just crochet the whole way up the top. So coming near the top here, and this is where I'm going to do the 3 double crochet into the corner. 3 single crochet into the corner, sorry. 1, 2, and 3. And crochet along the top. Just coming to the end, the very last corner of this purple round. And I did start on the edge, but I didn't do the 3 single crochets. I did 1. So I'm going to put an extra 2 into that very first stitch where you did the first single crochet. 1 and 2. And I'm just going to slip stitch to the top. Oops. Just slip stitch to the top of that stitch. Chain 1. Cut your wool and pull that through. And then if you just pull that tight. And that is what your triangle will look like. I'm just going to do the edging down this side and up this side, and I'm not going to do it along the top because we'll be joining our bunting with 1 line across the top. So start in the corner like this and pull your wool through. I'm doing the edging in white, and chain 1. Now you're going to skip a stitch, this stitch here, and into the next stitch you're going to put 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets all into the same stitch. You're going to skip 1 and slip stitch into the next stitch, like that. You're going to skip the next stitch, and into the next stitch you're going to put 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip a stitch and slip stitch into the next stitch. You continue this pattern, little clusters of 5 double crochet with skipped stitches in between. I've now come to the last cluster, and what I'm going to do here is slightly different. I want to make this pointier than what it is because it's quite rounded. So instead of doing 5 double crochets into the middle stitch, I'm going to start off by doing 2 double crochets and 3 triple crochets. So wrap the wool around the hook twice, put it through, and you're going to pull it up once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times. And do that 2 more times, all into the same stitch. Wrap your wool around your hook twice, insert it into the stitch, pull your wool up, pull it through 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 times, and back into the same stitch again, 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. And slip stitch. Skip a stitch and slip stitch. And you just basically work these clusters back up this side of your triangle to this point. And that is your stripy bunting triangle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to join all the bunting together.